So the head coach of the Black Stars, Otto Addo, has named his squad for Ghana's game, and the squad had three local players in it. My name is Delali Frank. The man standing next to me is called Shaban, very famous, even popular than me in this country. He's known for the Ghana Premier League and everything around it, and that's why we are talking about it. Otto Addo has scored 3 players from the league. First of all, are you happy with the number of players he has scored?
Yes, I'm extremely happy. You may ask why, but first of all, you look at these 3 players. I am of the view that the league is gradually building up quality. And years ago, you see that players, just after a season, will leave. Now, players are beginning to realize that, look, when you play the domestic league and play it well, you have opportunity to represent Ghana. You also get the best of deal. For instance, David Odro and Abdulaziz Issa have shown us the way that if you're a young player and you are talented enough, you still have the opportunity to play big teams. Now, we have Razak Simpson. Razak Simpson this season have got 9 games. His side have kept 6 clean sheets. You add the clean sheets to the defender's performance. He has gotten 1 man of the match awards. Combining the man of the match to last season, he had the most valuable player awards last season, 7. A total of 8 from last season, playing 9 games, showing a lot of quality in the Nations FC team. Of course, one of the teams that are currently unbeaten in the Premier League at home. Sure. Having given some good performance, 11 wins, 10 draws at the Dr. Kwame Sports Complex. And you cannot talk about Nations FC without mentioning the effort of Razak Simpson in the team. Emmanuel Entry from Great Olympics. He's been an extraordinary player. I watched his highlights. Kotoko, when he scored the equalizer against Young Apostles at the
I remember.
Yes, he's so good at the long range. He's very good technically. He's a good passer of the ball. He's just like the days where we used to watch Majid
Ashmiru at Wafa.
Yes, so you look at him, you can clearly see that when he's polished, we are likely to have one of the key local based players who are making exploit across the world. Then you look at Isaac Afful. Not to say much about him, one of the discoveries at the left back. I watched him at Sky FC in 2021 when he signed for FC Samatex. I watched in his first season. He had to compete with Emmanuel Dusian, the captain of FC Samatex. And at a point in time, he was playing ahead of Emmanuel Dusian, then consistently showing a lot of quality. He has also added goal scoring to his performance. He has added more attacking bite to his performance and also very good in tracking back to defend. That is all about fullbacks, and that you cannot mention 2-3 fullbacks without focusing on Isaac Afful.
So you mentioned the players, so 3 players: Isaac Afful, Razak Simpson, and Emmanuel Entry. These are the 3 players that they've caught. But there was a player who has always been consistent, but he dropped him. From your experience following the Premier League very well, what do you think influenced Otto Addo's decision to drop Frederick Asare? To provide a bit of context for many Ghanaians who may not know even the reason why perhaps he dropped him.
Well, in terms of playing for the Black Stars, I have always said that it is all about what the coaches feel and they see and what they want to do at a particular time. We've all said that with these 2 remaining games, it's also an opportunity for other players to come and showcase what they can do. For me, I feel that every player deserves opportunity. I don't see the reason why the coach should answer why he feels he has to drop a player, because this is the national team, and when he feels that Shaban is doing enough to also gain the opportunity to play, he will give you the opportunity. I feel that it is also a good experience for the local based players and for them to also get the exposure. You go for the national team, it also boosts your confidence. It adds up to your performance. I would say that Frederick Asare has always been good. This is Frederick Asare. I've watched him at Accra Lions, then at Kumasi Asante Kotoko. For me, at a point in time, I spoke about it that Asare has even met my expectations, because what I expected him to do, he has even done way beyond that, and I feel that there's more years for Asare to prove himself. I am not worried about the dropping. I am looking at every player getting the opportunity, and I'm sure that if he keeps his consistency in terms of good performance, he'll be back again in the national team.
Let's talk about his performance for his club side, because obviously the coach will look at the performance for the club side. Has he been, in your honest assessment, has he been a bit consistent for his club side ever since he's been with the national team, or he's been a bit off and off, and you believe that may also have affected his chance or his spot in the team?
Well, he not being part of the team would be as a result of so many factors. what you are looking at might not be what the coach is also paying attention to. You might be looking at performance, the coach might be looking at something else. You might be looking at some techniques, the coach might even focus on something else. I feel that in terms of performance at Kotoko, this is Frederick Asari. For me, I don't see any change. When the team is not performing, it is the entire team. You can't blame Frederick Asari. I watched Kotoko Legon Cities where he conceded 2 goals. You can't falter him. You can't say he's the cause against Baseke Holy Stars. To you might be watching the game and you feel he should be able to do something about it, but he might not be able to do anything about it. I remember last season after match day 3, Kotoko conceded against Gold Stars. Then he was dropped for Dalad Ibrahim. At a point in time, he came back in the team again. It is not about performance. It is about what the coach wants. But for Frederick Asara at Kotoko, it's a time. It's a matter of time. The team is here to gel. A team that has got about 9 new starters. It's obvious the team will struggle. Yes, though I'm sure we hyped Kotoko because of what they did against Hatufuk in the President's Cup. But look, let's be honest. A team with 9 to 10 new players starting in each game will take time, and that it will also affect the goalkeeper's performance because all the back 4 are new players. It's not going to be easy.
Well, let's talk about the major talking points, which is these players and whether they would start or they will get a chance to play or not. What are the chances of these players? Let's start one after the other. Razak Simpson, obviously going to meet a lot of experienced defenders. What are his chances? And even if you are advising him, what are his chances in that role?
Well, I always get these questions about, okay, the local base player is scored, what is his chance? Now, I am always critical about this topic. A coach would invite a player. When you are invited, it's different from to play. To play is to have the same standard as the other player, and even beyond that.
Yeah, you have to prove to the coach that you are better than the one there.
Other player, you get it. It is not about local based player getting the opportunity to play, but it is about if you are very good enough ahead of all the defenders to start. If the coach feels that technically, psychologically, you are fit enough to start the game, it's obvious that the coach will give you the opportunity to play. Yes, and to all the time when I get the opportunity, I always advise the local based players that if you get the opportunity, if you are called for the national team, don't be only focused on a call-up. Work beyond the call-up, get to start games and play. And that is, the coaches will look at all those things. Psychologically, if you are well built for the game, mentally, if you have given the enough training to prove that you are quality enough to start, why not the coach will start you? But obviously, all the 3 players, you started with Razak Simpson. Razak has been one of the good centre backs in the Premier League. Apart from he being injured, he's always a constant starter for nations.
Okay, you let me put the question this way. The 3 players, who has higher chance of starting based on the rules?
All of them have the opportunity to start, yes. It depends on the player's performance. I have always said that. I will never speak that this player should start or not. Just give your best at the training ground so you get the opportunity to start.
Shaban is talking like a father of the Ghana Premier League players. He's been diplomatic, trying to protect it. But honestly, I've always said that if you're a player and you are called into the Black Stars, the best you can do is to impress the coaches at the training sessions. Let them know that your standard is as good as the other players and let the coach decide. That will also influence the coach's decision to call you again. He will call 23 players and not all of them will even get the chance to make the Madi squad and play that particular game. And at the end of the day, I believe what you can do for yourself as a player is to impress the coaches and let them know that you are good enough so that they would consistently call you. And who knows, your chance may come. But at least 3 players is good. I am personally happy for these players. It means the coaches are watching them. And Otto Addo also has a very good relationship with Masudu Dramani, so he can take a lot of advice from him. And then, Charlie,
Thank you.
Thank you, Mo. My name is Delali Frank. Until we meet again, bye-bye for now.